Before becoming a renowned filmmaker, David Lynch began his creative career as a painter, studying fine art in both Boston and Pennsylvania, where he produced macabre canvases and began experimenting with film. In 1967, he produced his first cinematic project, 6 Men Getting Sick 6 Times, an animated short film which made use of some of Lynch's paintings and sculptures. Due to the undeniable attachment Lynch has to traditional art, this essay will explore the various links between Twin Peaks and particular pieces, and show how this knowledge may add to the audience's understanding of the Twin Peaks universe. Work from Impressionist painters seemed to serve as inspiration for the soft, feminine modelling of the female characters in Twin Peaks. Monet's portrait of his wife Camille on her deathbed bears a huge similarity in colouring and composition to Laura Palmer's dead body, and the characters Audrey Horne and Donna Hayward both evoke the sense of classic 1900s beauty shown in Klimt's Art Nouveau style portraits.
Certain things light the heart and the mind simultaneously. It's like a beautiful storm comes over us. It happened with seeing Francis Bacon's paintings.
Known for his absurd twisted figures and experimentation with existentialist motifs, Francis Bacon is perhaps the most inspirational figure to Lynch's work in both painting and film. Many of his works feature disembodied and twisted figures which morph into blackness, some of which are screaming in existential agony, similar to how Laura Palmer repeatedly screams in horror. We see here that the arms image has likely been inspired by the melted flesh-like figure in 3 Studies for Figures at the Base of a Crucifixion. And similarly, the mysterious humanoid figure which appears inside the glass container shares similarities to a multitude of claustrophobic Bacon paintings which depict strange bodies inside of a cube. These pieces correlate with the dark mysteries and body horror in the Twin Peaks universe. René Magritte is another huge inspiration for Lynch, and his surrealist images and motifs are exceedingly common in Twin Peaks. In one of his most famous paintings, not to be reproduced, Magritte explores themes of doubling and doppelgangers through imagery of a suited man with black hair, which is exactly how Dale Cooper is dressed in the first 2 seasons of the show, and exactly what he comes up against in the Black Lodge. Magritte's focus on the nature of doubling also appears in his painting The Dual Reality, and Lynch emphasises his own fascination with dual realities in a multitude of scenes, using actress Cheryl Lee to play both Laura Palmer and Laura's cousin Maddie, and juxtaposing shots of Bob against Leland and Laura to blur the lines of reality and identity. Another painting depicts a face removed from a head, with machinery in its place, tying into the way Lynch removes the faces of women who have had some dealing with the entities from the Black Lodge, and his fascination with electricity and mechanics as a way in which the Black Lodge can be reached. Magritte's well-known phrase, "the pipe is not a pipe," makes its way into Twin Peaks with
"The owls are not what they seem,"
telling the audience and Cooper himself to rethink the ways in which we perceive our world. Not only do Magritte's artworks appear to serve as inspiration in regards to the use of doppelganger imagery, other parallels can be drawn between the surrealist figures in both Twin Peaks and Magritte's paintings. The appearance of a white horse in Pure Reason and Twin Peaks could be a coincidence due to white horse being a slang term for cocaine, which then relates to Laura's cocaine addiction, but we can also see similarities between other paintings and character designs, in particular, Laura herself and Major Briggs's floating head. The vast and impossible settings in various paintings transfer to Lynch's dreamlike environments, which use red curtains and electricity as doorways to other realms. We also see household objects and statues as the focal point of a few of Magritte's paintings, bearing a likeness to not only the iconic Venus statues in the Black Lodge, but Lynch's use of machinery and household objects as prominent figures and even living entities. Lastly, work from the urbanist painter Edward Hopper heavily inspired many of the settings and aesthetics in Twin Peaks, shown particularly through the 1950s American stylization of the Double R Diner and other buildings in the town. Hopper's paintings are at times directly reproduced in particular scenes during season 3 of the show, and even when Lynch strays from replicating the look of a Hopper painting, the atmosphere is still transferred into the Twin Peaks world. Despite displaying typical and idealized American lifestyles on the surface, Hopper and Lynch's work both exude an air of loneliness, as though the white picket fences and flowers are just a guise under which the people living behind them are filled with gloom and despair.